Hello again. I thought I would continue one last story or a third story regarding um, scams. And when I say scams, I'm talking about rip-off artists who either try to steal money from you, maybe try to extort money from you, deceive you, rip you off, take advantage of you. I talked about two other stories in some of the other videos I've done. One which really ripped the lives apart of a friend of mine and destroyed her marriage, which you should go back and listen to me ramble on about that story. That, I think I say in that video, could be a Netflix story or a Netflix video. It is so crazy. And then the second one I talk about, one that happened to me, or like a near miss, like by the skin of my teeth, that I nearly got taken for $1,500 from a scam artist that posed as a potential employer, which was crazy. Thankfully, my gut, and that was kind of the moral of the story. Even if things seem kind of legit, but your gut's telling you no, just stop for a minute. Just stop for a minute and do some investigative research, more so than maybe you've already done. So the third one, actually, the third story I'm talking about today has to do with my grandmother. Unfortunately, she's no longer with us. She passed in, I believe, 2021. She lived to be in her 90s, had all her marbles, all her faculties when she went. Unfortunately, she was diagnosed with cancer, and it was like one of those situations, there's nothing they could do. It was like last minute, and the running joke was, you're in perfect health other than a cancer. Regardless, as a little old lady, she would still walk to the supermarket each week to go grocery shopping for herself. And actually, there's really kind of two stories in here. One, and I'll tell this story really quickly, is the old story of her purse is in her cart. And this is really two young people are involved in this story. So one young lady is trying to reach something on the shelf and cannot, and asks my grandmother. Now, first off, that's ridiculous. Like, you're asking a little old lady to reach something off the shelf for you. But an old woman is not going to think anything of it and think, oh, I'm still physical and capable of helping somebody. So while my grandmother was distracted, the partner in crime went for the purse. And I forget how that one ended. I forget if they got caught or what the deal was. But people, I mean, come on. But the only thing I can think of is these people are desperate for money to pay for drugs and just aren't thinking with their brains, And if they aren't looking for drug money, which it doesn't excuse it, but like it can get in the head of a criminal mind a little bit. Like, okay, well, this person, all they're trying to do is get high and get a fix. Other than that, all I think is, if somebody is not doing it for that, they just don't have their brain on straight, and they're just rotten people. So that was that. But the one I wanted to talk about today is, I have a cousin who's 20 years younger than me. So she's the time, I think a late teens, early 20s, probably early 20s, so like college, right? And the phone rings, and it's this very serious voice on the other end saying it's either it was an attorney, or I think it was an attorney, and saying, your granddaughter is in trouble, and I am the attorney for her. I can get her out of trouble. She's in trouble with the police, and but I need money to do that, to get her out. So, okay, fine, that's pretty bad. But the part that made it even worse is they had a young girl in the background just saying, oh, you gotta help me, you can't tell mom and dad, you have to help me, please, like hysterical. So kind of a girl in the background, an elderly woman, it's very plausible that this person could be her granddaughter. Now, my cousin or her granddaughter is so squeaky clean. I couldn't imagine her getting in any type of trouble like that. But nonetheless, my grandmother then walked to the grocery store because this person said, I need to be paid in gift cards. So now again, my grandmother at that point was probably in her late 80s or her 80s, and you know, activating a gift card and doing all those things is just like, that's asking a lot of an elderly person like that, right? She probably paid for everything in cash and might have had a debit card or may have had a credit card. That was it. So she went down to the grocery store. She knew they had gift cards there. I basically went in line and tried to get, I forget what the amount was. It was like crazy high. And the cashier said, this is an awfully high amount, like kind of questioning it, like probably because it's like, why is an elderly person getting this really high gift card? And could see that my grandmother was like shaken. And kind of asked more like, you should probably call the police and just verify this. Oh no, they called from the police station. So I know it's real, and I could hear her voice in the background. So lo and behold, they got the police involved. Thank you for the worker. However, the police got involved. And so ultimately, the police decided, let's set up a sting. Now, they left my grandmother out of it. She wasn't part of the sting. They said, I guess they must have said, like, tell them we will meet here for the gift cards or whatever. And they sent like an undercover, and they nailed these people, which was good because usually in stories like rip-off stories like this, people get away scot-free. It's like what I was talking about in the previous videos, the one where I nearly got ripped off. I don't know where these people originate. They could originate out of this country. And then in the first video, I talk about my friend's life and marriage got destroyed because her husband was a dumb idiot and took the bait and got catfished from an alleged woman who's likely out of this country somewhere and was sending her crypto because she was blackmailing him. He was sending her crypto. So anyway, at least the moral in this story was my grandmother, while probably nearly giving her a heart attack, also was able to get these people and bring them to justice. And who knows, because clearly this is a polished scam and they've done it before, that they have it all worked out like that. So hopefully not too many people got hurt in that, and they prevented others. So moral of the story is, just watch your back, and your elderly family members or friends or whatever, just tell them the same thing. If something doesn't seem right, to call the police. And it may even if it's something legit, at least you know that you verified it. Unfortunately, it's the world we live in today, where people are trying to take advantage of each other, which is just disappointing. But we need to protect ourselves and not allow this to happen. These people are going to continue to exist, but if we resist by raising awareness, just taking a time out. I know the world moves very quickly, our lives move very quickly, but if something doesn't seem right, take a time out, take a breath, think about what's going on, maybe do a little research on Google, as I talked about, like in my previous video, to investigate, or call the police, or call a buddy. Just say, hey, this weird situation came. This person's looking for gift cards, or whatever the case may be. Maybe sometimes just another perspective. All I'm saying is just stop and count to 10, and hopefully this won't happen to you. So I didn't mean to do 3 videos kind of on this topic, but the very first video I did on this topic, the only reason I did that video is because I was so blown away by my friend's experience. I felt like I had to tell someone outside of my circle, my small circle of friends and family. And if it if it helps one person out there, then cool. that's awesome. Or if it raises awareness and somebody out there who watches that video, is aware of another situation someone's going through and they intervene, awesome. Bad things unfortunately happen in life, and sometimes we make mistakes where we think like, oh, this person seems legit and I will buy gift cards or whatever the case may be. But I think the silver lining is what I always look for in situations is how can we use that as a teachable moment and learn from it for ourselves and for those that we care for in our lives. And then of course you guys out there, I really appreciate all you guys watching these videos out here. So I thought, let's look out for one another. So in the comment field, let me know if you've experienced some type of scam like this, whether like the one I just explained in this video, if you check out the other 2 videos I did, anything like that with the gift cards where I nearly got taken. And then of course, where my friend in the first video got her marriage and life destroyed. That, I hope that happens to nobody, not even my worst enemies. I don't really have any enemies. So let me know in the comment box. Stay safe, be well, and thanks for watching. See you next time.